Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we've got some work to do. For sure. We absolutely need to do some repairing here. We took a lot of armor damage, including some internal damage. Let's go ahead and tick forward here. We may or may not end up hitting the month tick. I actually haven't run the calculation to determine if we will or not, but it's going to be close, one way or another. It's going to be yeah, we're going to hit the financial report. It's going to happen. I probably should have looked at that, but it's okay. We're going to hit that. That's fine. We're definitely going to need to start taking a little less damage in the future if we can help it. More specifically, these repair costs, or not really repair costs, the repair times have been pretty high. But that's okay. We're going to finish up the salamander here. We know that there was internal damage to the salamander, so we're going to check to see if it requires additional work, and it does. So we're hoping that that heat exchanger is fine. Let's see. This is going to be interesting. Nope, the exchanger is not fine. So that heat exchanger is out of here. That is super unfortunate. The only reason that the exchanger was damaged was because it was facing the wrong way when we deployed, and we can't control that. So we're just going to have to chalk that up as just generic attrition there. I don't think there's any real way around that. So how do we want to offset that heat that is going to be building up now? I don't think there's a way that we really can. We can potentially put in something into the specialist slot to make it a little bit better, like a tag barrage might be interesting. I'm just wondering... how many shots does this have? We might be better off with just a regular tag. I mean, it's got a 3-weapon CD. Yeah. Let's go ahead and run the tag barrage. Too many weapons mounted in the CT. Oh, I thought that would go into specialist suite, but no, of course not. It's a support weapon. What am I talking about? Tag barrage is never going to go in there. Let's look for AMS flare could go in there. It's not great, but it'll do. We'll get those repairs done. It's an objective downgrade, losing the heat exchanger. I'm sad about that, but it is what it is. The salamander is going to be running a little hotter, and we'll have to feel out how much hotter that is. It was already having some heat issues, but that was mostly when it was getting hit by like plasma. We'll have to see. If we need to go in and adjust its heat output, then we'll do that. But for now, we'll get everything done here. We'll play a friendly game, sure. They're in high spirits. Excellent. There we go. And we're going to take forward 4 more days to get the Corsair back. There we go.
Job's done, Commander.
We'll double check the mech bay, make sure everything else is good to go. It should be. I don't think there was anything else that took internal damage.
Nice to see you down here in the hole.
We're good. Okay, so we'll hop into the barracks, and that will be fine. We need to do some training here. Of course, some of these are already maxed out.
Orders? What can I do for you?
Like these guys. Excellent.
No. I'm receiving.
And what else do we potentially have? Not even poet, huh?
Yes,
okay.
Commander.
Awaiting
So it
orders.
looks like we're not really going to have any training to be done. That's okay. We'll hop into the command center, and where do we want to deploy? Well, honestly, somewhere to give us a heat exchanger, but we can't really predict that. So instead, this capture base sounds interesting. Shouldn't be all that difficult, according to Darius. Well, Darius is probably wrong, but we'll find out. No free priority salvage here. We'll just run it straight down the middle. I mean, there's kind of one here, I suppose. Like, running here is probably optimal, actually. We'll go ahead and do that. Maybe we'll run into a heat exchanger. I think we'll run everybody as is, because these guys are all maxed out. We want to run our non-maxed out mech warriors for right now. And let's go ahead and do this. Yes, we know that 2 of our mechs are underweight. Yes, we know that you're an idiot, Darius. We're all good here. So I was pretty impressed by the Mauler's first outing, although I do believe that a lot of those hits were sheer luck. Like, the Mauler was not necessarily in ideal range, but it was getting good rolls. There's no doubt about that. It missed a couple times, but overall, those heavy Gauss rifles output a lot of damage last match. So I'm relatively pleased with that, but I'm not 100% convinced that that wasn't a fluke, because there were definitely some low odds hits that it got there. So we'll see how it plays out this mission. We're still working on evaluating that, and we're also keeping an eye on the heat level of the Salamander sans the heat exchanger, because that is going to be rough, I think. That heat exchanger is what? Probably a 15% heat reduction? It doesn't sound like much on the face of it, but in reality, if we're building up heat with just our MRMs and ATMs, then we might need to revisit some of our build. So we'll have to look and see how it's going. What terrain are we even in? I didn't even look. I think we're in like Highlands, but we'll find out. We need to capture the Lyran data storage facility. We've been monitoring communications traffic on Carver and discerned a pattern. There's a well-defended Lyran base that we suspect of being a secure data storage facility. We'd like your team to land, to capture the base, and take a complete image of their contents of their databases. Once the Lyran forces realize what we're doing, they'll launch a counteroffensive, so we'll need you to stay in the field until the download is complete. This shouldn't be all that difficult, but we'll need Dr. Murad on the ground to do the actual data hacking. She's already agreed to go in with your team.
Sensors online. Weapons
Okay,
online.
well, we'll see what we're up against.
All systems nominal.
We expect a garrison lance, we expect turrets, and then once we capture it, we expect a reinforcement lance. There may be more, but we'll see. Physical security, yes. We have allies, and the allies are on the far side of the base. So that's fascinating. We can deploy right on this hill, right here, and just make our way in up this road. There's turret emplacements here, here, and here, and here. This looks pretty approachable. Okay. Well, we immediately see a longbow, a sniper artillery emplacement. Our allies are shooting at that longbow. And almost doing more damage to the sniper artillery than the longbow, but that was good damage nevertheless. We're pretty pleased about that. The longbow moves, fires on the sniper artillery emplacement. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, that was this weapons carrier that fired on our friend the longbow, but actually did more damage to the sniper artillery emplacement, and then the longbow fired at the sniper artillery emplacement. So that's an Arrow 4 turret, that's a Thumper turret, and that's a Thumper turret. So all four of their turrets are artillery-based. Okay, this is fine so far. Ever since they changed the dropping in combat, we definitely drop in much, much later in the round. It's not necessarily awful, but when we can't control our facing, it can be rough. I would like it a lot better if we could control the facing when we drop in our mechs, but I don't know how realistic getting that to work would be. So we'll have to think about that for now. So we see a Cyclops out there, a Catapult, a Regent. Our friends have or rather, these are our friends over here. They have garrisoning this, a Templar, a Centurion. They have the Longbow over there. No, the Longbow is our friend. I keep doing that. They've got... Okay, the Catapult moves up. It's going for the weapons carrier, and that's a good hit. Running an Arrow 4, looked like. Okay.
Yeah?
For now, our Corsair is going to step forward over here.
I'll do what I can.
And what do we see here? We do see this weapons carrier rear arc. However, we see the Thumper turret, we see the Sniper artillery turret, we see the Arrow 4 turret, and we see this Thumper turret here. We're going to go for the Sniper artillery turret here. I would love to see these turrets eliminated before they get a chance to fire.
Okay, I'm on it.
Those lasers way out there, not great. Good crits on the Sniper artillery turret, but it's not down.
How did that taste?
Okay.
I'm ready.
Well, our Orion is going to move on up.
rolling.
I think that firing on this sniper artillery turret with the Orion would be a waste. I would prefer to fire on like the Thumper turret or the Arrow 4 turret. I think the Arrow 4 turret is a bigger threat than the 2 Thumper turrets. So let's go ahead and Warlord to boost these odds, and let's hit the Arrow 4 turret. This should be a good armor strip.
Engaging target.
Excellent. Structure exposure on the Arrow 4 turret.
Ooh, that hit something good.
Okay. The Salamander is going to move up. This is... There's the facility commander. There weren't supposed to be any units in the base. Okay. Data security problems. Mechs powering up. More bad guys on the way in. Okay. So... And turrets. Yep, we know about the turrets. We do see additional enemies, and... Well, these must be the mechs in question. The defenders that we already knew about. So I'm not too concerned about that. I would like to fire on the Thumper turret out here with the Salamander, but really we want to fire on a full armor Thumper turret here. The question is, yeah, that's quite a bit of heat buildup. The question is, do we want to fire AX? I think that the hit odds make it not worth it, and we're just going to fire on the Thumper turret with our improved. And the Thumper turret's out of here.
Target down, Commander.
Beautiful. Next up is going to be our Awesome. The Awesome is a mech that could probably work on finishing off one of these. And we're going to go for the Sniper Artillery turret. Do we even fire the LRM-20 here? Honestly, I don't think it's necessary.
We'll go.
I say as we miss one of our
Target's
PPCs
taking a critical
and
hit.
leave, what is that, 1 hit point? 1 hit point.
Got something you want done?
Oof. The Mauler's going to move up over here, and I would love to fire on this weapons carrier, but the hit odds are not there. Not great out on this Thumper. Let's go for the Arrow 4 turret. This should be a pretty guaranteed kill. I'm going to not fire these two.
Firing on target.
Yeah, as expected. So there's 2 of the artillery turrets gone. Excellent. There is, of course, this Thumper turret way out there. The Madcap Mark II is going to move up, and the Madcap Mark II is going to only be able to fire at the sniper artillery emplacement. We're just going to fire the medium lasers. All we need is 1 to hit. And there we go. Fantastic. 1 HP. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to move over with our Bull Shark. The question is, what do we want to drop artillery on? The answer, I think, is actually this Templar over here. I think that'll do. We'll go ahead and fire on him. Do we want a Warlord? Actually, yes. That's a lot of small X-pulses that Templar is running. We don't really want to get in close to him. So this'll do. Knock some armor off of him. There we go. We'll see what the Cyclops does. It goes for the Thumper turret. I like it. I hope our allies continue to do that. The Boar's Head is going to move up over here. We're going to continue to drop our artillery on that Templar. Now, we're expecting another Lance once we occupy the base. But we're not going to have a difficult time dispelling these defenders. Like, this is not going to be challenging, especially with the Thumper turret shooting at the Regent and missing. Like, that's not a problem. This bombardment over here is kind of annoying, but that's okay. They did miss on the longbow, and that's fine. Okay, so they're shooting at the Regent, but missing. We like this a lot. Like, a whole lot. That's excellent. Catapult moves up, fires on that weapons carrier, does nothing. I really would have preferred that they go for the turret. Longbow shooting at the weapons carrier, that's a straight up kill. Quite the artillery that they're running there. Probably Infernal Arrow 4s. Longbow's over here. Well, we'll find out in a moment. They're attacking the catapult, doing a tiny amount of damage. Longbow. Yeah, running dual Arrow 4s, as expected. The Orion is going to step up over here. We actually do see a location with an LOS over here. So we'll step in there, and we're going to fire on this thumper turret. Now, one of our LRM-20s sadly jammed, but we'll see what we get here. Not a lot is the answer, but we do shred off nearly the last armor of that thumper turret. And there's our LRM unjamming. Excellent. A little bit low frame rate in that zoom, but it's okay. RogueTech sometimes has those weird frame rate drops where it's like... It probably has to do with the game being primarily single-threaded. It being a Unity game, after all. Our friends, of course, do have this Seth over here. Actually, no, that's the enemy that has a Seth over there. I keep forgetting we're not on the side of the Lyrans. Okay, we're going to just sprint up with our Salamander. There's only so far that we can go here. This is like a ridge here that we're going to have to climb down. That's a little bit awkward. We're going to want to go around towards the road over here, I guess. So that's something that we can start working on doing. The Awesome is going to move on up.
Move order confirmed.
And that's not a Seth at all. That's a Templar. We'll go ahead and Warlord it and pot shot at the Templar. We don't have eyes on the Seth. And this is quite a pot shot. 0.9% chance.
Failed to connect.
Yeah, you don't say.
Commander?
That's fully expected. The Madcat Mark II is going to head on over this
it.
way. We, of
Run,
course,
don't shoot.
want to make it over to this road here, and then make it up there. Excellent.
What do you need?
The Corsair can fire at the turret, and that's ideal. We want to do exactly that. This has basically no armor left. We didn't really hit very much with the lasers there. Sad. And we didn't get crits. We'll see if our allies decide to finish that off. And indeed they do. Beautiful. We're very happy about that. The Bull Shark is going to move up a bit here, and it actually gets eyes on that Seth. Beautiful. We're going to fire on the Seth in flak mode. Now, the Seth already burned most of its AoEs on that longbow.
Feel my wrath.
That's a structure exposure, though.
Let's do it.
That was really solid. And actually, the Seth is gone. We basically one-shot that.
Waiting for
Fantastic. The Mauler is going to step up over here. I'm not expecting great hit odds on this Templar. 8.1. Do we just pot shot the ERs like this? That's not much heat. Actually, let's just do this and sync what heat we have. Our odds are really low.
Locked on.
Yeah, I didn't expect anything. Why are our odds so low on that Templar anyway? I should check that.
Hey.
The Boar's Head is going to move up over here.
There. Okay.
And what's going on with this guy? He's got 3 evasive. No visuals, that's a big part of it. Into forest, from forest, and height differential. Sure. That's fine. We're mostly just looking to lop some armor off of that Templar right now. That Arrow 4, I think, missed pretty wildly. But we'll see.
Yeah?
For now, our Corsair is going to make its way off over this direction. We did, however, see that we could fire from here. So that's okay. We'll position there. And we have reasonable hit odds at this range with the Corsair. We did miss both Gauss there, but we managed to laser off a little bit of armor.
Commander.
So that's fine. The Mauler is going to close in over here. Now, it
Location
definitely
confirmed.
doesn't have sight out over here. For sure. 12.1%? Nah.
Target locked. It's go time. No joy.
As expected. Just shooting the 2 medium lasers again.
I'm your spaniel.
The Orion is going to move over this direction.
Roger
And
that.
I want to check what the indirect hit odds are going to be on both of these. 17 and 13. Okay. Maybe we'd be better off running standard missiles because we're low on listen kill. So let's go ahead and do that. Odds are low, but we'll get a little bit of armor blown off there. Excellent.
Standing
The
by.
Madcat Mark II, its goal is simply to move up into this swamp.
Full speed, no target.
and start closing in. Okay, we'll see what our allies do. The longbow moves up, does not fire. This is going to be the Centurion moving up. Shoots at the catapult. Does some reasonable damage to it.
Commander.
Okay. The Awesome is going to pop out over here. We're not expecting much for hit odds on the Templar with the Awesome either. Yeah, 12.5. We'll pot shot it. Maybe we hit, but we don't. To be expected. The catapult moves up, fires on the Centurion. Gets some hits in there. The Centurion lost its evasive. That's good. Any moment now, Templar. He moves up, goes for the catapult. That catapult has taken a beating. And this is why we don't want to get close to that Templar. All those X-pulses.
Yes, Commander.
The Bull Shark is going to just position
On the
here.
way.
Do we have a backstop here? Not really. We'll fire it in artillery mode. Not the greatest of hits there, but it did remove some armor, so I guess that's okay. The Regent moves up, goes for the Centurion. That's probably a good choice. Gets a little bit of armor removed. Okay.
Confirmed.
And now our Salamander is going to move up over here. And the Salamander actually does have range on this Templar and pretty good hit odds to boot. So we're going to take this. This could easily kill the Templar, although we are hitting its strong side, so we'll see. And it has damage reduction. Structure exposure. Okay.
I'm here.
The Boar's Head is going to move up over here.
Moving to
We're going to
position.
continue to fire on that Templar.
Copy that. Firing Alpha Strike.
Not the greatest artillery shots there, but it's okay.
But that hurt.
So we'll see what our allied Cyclops decides to do. It should absolutely fire on them, but it doesn't.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
Okay. Are these the reinforcements that would have spawned if we had captured the
Still
base?
reading enemy
Maybe.
contacts, Commander. You need to secure the area before you
Oh,
can
I'm
proceed.
aware. We're working on it. An enemy ghost moves in, fires on the Regent. Okay, so they're over on that side. Hang on. Are they behind us? Well, now. A ghost, a Warhammer 2C, a Highlander, and an Emperor. Spawning behind us.
How's it going?
Isn't that fascinating? So the ghost is already moved. We are going to move up with our Madcap Mark II, and I'd like to get an unobstructed LOS on that ghost. Sadly, such a thing is not going to exist with the Madcap Mark II, but we're going to move in and check our hit odds, which are really bad. Or evasive, okay. Well, we're just going to have to roll what we can here on this ghost and hope that we make it unsteady. We'll Warlord it to boost this, but I'm not expecting too much here.
On it.
We got a head hit. That's something.
Receiving you.
So the Mauler is going to immediately turn around here.
Position confirmed.
23.8, 26.4. They're not great hit odds, but we'll take it. And we're going to go for the Warhammer 2C.
Locking on target.
We missed both of the heavy Gauss. That's not surprising. Okay.
Ready for
The
order.
Orion is also going to turn around here and will position like so.
I'm going.
Checking hit odds. The Ghost it is. We'll Warlord that.
Bon appetit.
And we're missing basically everything. Again, this is to be expected at this point. Mostly I just want to get turned around so that they're not backstabbing us. The catapult moves up, fires on that Centurion, and gets a solid hit there into a knockdown. So that's okay. Our allies can probably be trusted to deal with these guys over here for now, anyway.
Yes, Commander.
Our Awesome is going to turn and move
Copy
here.
that.
There's that ECM jamming, though, and that ECM jamming is coming from this Highlander, so that's something that we will want to take care of. Hit odds are exactly the same on the Warhammer 2C versus the Ghost. And this is side arc on the Warhammer 2C. They have almost identical armor amounts, so we're going to go for the Warhammer 2C here.
Roger that.
Okay, got some damage in there. We'll see what our allies do. Longbow moves up. Does not do a thing.
I await
Okay.
your command.
Well, the Bull Shark is, I think, going to turn over here.
Onward.
And we're going to drop artillery on this Warhammer 2C. I think it's far enough that we're not going to hit our friends. But we can strip some good armor off of there. And actually, we got a head hit there. I like it. The Regent moves and fires on the Ghost. And gets some pretty decent hits there. That's okay.
Ready to rock.
So, our Salamander, moving in. Checking hit odds. Best on the Warhammer. We're probably still best off using Improved, even though the Warhammer has pretty fresh armor. I would like to use AX. Actually, that's not that much worse hit odds. We could do this.
10-4.
That's a lot of hits to the Warhammer. It's still not unsteady, by the way. And some of our mechs are still facing away from these guys. Them dropping in directly on our rear arc was annoying, for sure. But, oh well, what are you going to do?
What do you
So
need?
our Corsair is going to move in over here. We can actually face all three of
Got it.
these. And we'll check hit odds. Highest is on the Ghost. We'll Warlord that. And we'll see what we get. One Gauss hit. And the Ghost is unsteady. Cool. Phase 14, they're going to get to move multiple mechs here. That's going to be their Warhammer 2C, which could hurt, although it's not that strong. Going for the awesome? Okay. It got a lot of damage out there, but we're okay for now.
Losing armor.
Warhammer 2C is also very, very hot right now. It's running very hot. They're shooting at the Regent D. We don't care about this. Cool.
Hey.
So our Boar's Head is, at this point, going to turn around. Obviously, we shoot here. Very obviously.
I hope it hurts.
Nice.
Critical hit, Commander.
That worked quite well. That Centurion is going to get up. And we'll see what he wants to do. There's not too much he can do. Shoots at the catapult. Okay. That catapult's not doing so well, but that's fine for now. Now the Cyclops moves and fires on the Emperor. Okay. I mean, we can't hit the Emperor yet, really. So that's okay. Now they're going to move their Highlander, and this guy's going to be a pretty big focus next round. He goes for the Regent. Okay, I like it. Now, he does a lot of damage to the Regent. But that could have been damage that he dealt to us. Phase 23 is going to be the Ghost, moving in immediately. So that should be fine. Actually, it's moving away. Oof. Everything into the side arc, that awesome.
I'm taking internal damage.
Indeed you are. They have two Phase 22 movers now. Of course, in that arm is the Clan LRM-20 and the Heavy PPC. The Templar 3 moves up. Shoots at the catapult. Okay. Honestly misses everything. I like it. However, we do know that there is going to be another Lance when we take over the base. Oof, they're continuing to hit the awesome. Luckily, it just hit the rear armor. We're okay.
I can't take much more of this.
You're okay for now. Wait. No, never mind. I was confused for a moment there. We're good. However, it is past time to put a cut in here, and we know there's probably going to be another lance. That might be the lance that dropped in, but I'm going to guess it's not. So you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and we'll finish this one up next time. And now it's our turn. Excellent.